Hey everyone, it's Andrew from Otter Valley Railroad, and in front of me I have a couple of examples of our brand new N-scale National Steel Car 6,000 cubic foot and 6,400 cubic foot trash and scrap gondola cars. This is our very first product that we have produced an N-scale, and with that there comes a few learning curves. Recently it's been brought to our attention that there are some issues when coupling the cars. And after taking a further look into this, I have definitely discovered a major issue. As you can see right now, these are two cars fresh out of the box. And with just a gentle push, they bounce right off each other. The couplers do not function. I use a little bit more force, still nothing. They just bounce right off each other. All right, as you can see in front of me, I have a couple examples on the track here. And again, same as the previous clip, two cars fresh out of the box, no modification. The couplers do not attach. I'll try slowly. Nothing. All right, these two cars in front, they've been modified. The standard coupler has been taken out, modified slightly, and we'll see if they couple up this time. Go slow. Oh, look at that. We have success. And again, I'll do the same motion in the back here, nice and slow. Nothing. They just bounce off each other. No connection. Okay, and now let's take a close look at the reason why these do not couple together at all. So these are the two cars fresh out of the box. All right, see if this works here on the camera. So as you can see the coupler, I'll get my little poker in here. The knuckle will not open. Try it here. It's not too blurry for you to see. It will not open. Coupler moves freely, but the knuckle itself does not open. Now this one has been modified as well as this one. So let's see if you can see this. The knuckle opens. And I will show you why this is happening. All right, and now I got one of the cars in front of me here, and I'm going to show you what is causing the coupler issue. So with that, let's take the coupler off one end. I already did one end off camera. It's a little bit fiddly, but we'll try and get one done here on camera for you. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a fine point Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to need a sanding stick or a file or a piece of sandpaper, an X-Acto blade, and a fine set of tweezers. So we'll start with the fine point Phillips screwdriver. So one thing to note, let's see if I can get this on camera here. All the little brake rigging. Important note that it's all actually attached to the coupler lid, so you don't really need to take anything off. The only thing you have to worry about is the coupler cut lever. It's attached here to the ladder, and it should just pop right off. Let's see if I can do it here without wrecking it. The other end popped right off. Of course, this one's probably not going to, but we'll try it anyway. Oh, there it goes, just like that. As you can see, it's a little pin fit right into the end of the ladder in here. Right there. Pretty easy to pop in and out, even for N scale. All right, so now let's get our fine point Phillips. I'm gonna go in and take the coupler box off. And it should come off. There we go, just like that. And grab it by the coupler. Look at that, the entire coupler box comes off with the coupler. Let's set the car down. So now, what I like to do is I flip it around, just so you're not gonna damage any of the other hose pieces or anything. I like to take my tweezers, I'll go in from back here, and then you just give it a little pop, and the lid will pop right off. And the screw will stay in with the lid, just like that. And there now you can see our coupler, and it's a two-piece design. So let's put the other portion of the box down. So I'm going to show you what's causing the issue with the coupler. So you can see on one part of the coupler, we have a little tiny alignment hole. And on the other part, we have this little pin right there. Let me get my little knife here. Right there. That pin is what's preventing the coupler from opening up all the way. The reason why that pin was there was for assembly and manufacturing, but that little pin was overlooked. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to nip that off with our X-Acto blade. Just like so. Hopefully I don't cut myself on camera in front of everybody. And like that, the pin is gone. Took all of 2 seconds. And we take our little file. Just rub the burr off. That is it. And then now we can assemble our coupler back together and put it back in the box and back on the car. So we'll take this guy like that. Make sure we have it oriented the right way to go on the car. So then we take our box like this. That little round right there is actually the front. So we make sure that goes towards the coupler head. Flip it over. And now we take the lid. What we need to know also about the lid is there's 2 tiny little pins that go into these 2 tiny little holes. So it's a little bit fiddly. So I'm going to finish popping this lid on off camera just because it's a little bit hard to control in front of the camera here. But once I have it back together, I'll show myself putting it back onto the car for you. All right, just a second. Okay, now we got the coupler installed back into the box and we're ready to put it back onto the car. So let's take our car, take the coupler in the coupler box, going to align it on there, grab my screwdriver, and just like that, you see how easy that popped right back in? Don't over tighten that screw because you will strip the plastic. It's a very small screw. You just need to get it just snug enough and then you'll be good to go. So now we take this guy and we'll pop our coupler cut lever right back into the end of the mounting point. Right there. Oops, just like that. And there it is. And that's it. And that's all you need to do to fix the coupler. And now, you should be able to open up the knuckle. I can do it right here for you. There we go. Let's give it a quick little separation. Put it back. There. And now you're good. See? Now the knuckle opens. Now that's an extreme case. I'm forcing that open. But when you're actually coupling up to a locomotive or another car, it will pop open and back close with ease. But we couldn't do that before. And then here's the other end I also modified. So again, let me get my finger in there. See? Now you can see the knuckles opening and closing. So you can also put microtrains on here, but you're going to have to remove the entire coupler box and use the microtrains box that comes with those couplers because they are specifically designed to fit into a channel inside the microtrains box. You can probably get away with using an Atlas, N-scale Atlas coupler or one from Rapido, and you should be fine. I'll have to do an experiment and try those out on here as well if you want to switch over. But I've found just doing this little fix has worked in my case here. So with that, what I'm going to do now is get some of these other cars fixed up here, and I'm going to put a little consist on a little N-scale loop with locomotive and some other car brands to see if this coupler fix worked. All right, hold tight. I'll be right back. All right, so here we are at the test track. So I have down here a Rapido GMD1 that came from factory with OVRTRAINS couplers on it. And then I have our OVR cars with the modified OVR couplers on it. So I'm going to back it up and attempt to couple it up and see what happens. All right, here we go. Here we go. Success with a couple of cars. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna try coupling up to some other brand of cars. I have a Bachmann cylindrical hopper, an Atlas ballast hopper, and I have a OVRTRAINS center beam flat car. So hold on tight and I'll get that all set up. All right, so now we have our OVRTRAINS brand center beam flat car with OVRTRAINS couplers and the OVR car and the OVR couplers. So let's back that up and see if it connects. And voila, there we go. All right, next up is the Atlas ballast car. All right, now we have the Atlas ballast car with the Atlas brand couplers and the OVR car with the OVR couplers that have been modified. Let's back this up and see if it works. All right, that seemed to have worked. Good to see. And last up, we'll try the Bachmann. I have a feeling the Bachmann will not work as the couplers are extremely large. All right, now I have the Bachmann cylindrical hopper hooked up with its Bachmann brand EasyMate couplers and the OVR car with the modified OVR coupler. I do not think this will work as this coupler is quite large compared to the OVR coupler, but we'll give it a try anyway. And just as I suspected, it didn't work. However, if I come in with the hand of God and do a little drop hook, now we're good. So that's an extreme case. I'll bring it back around and I'll show you the size difference on the coupler head. All right, so here's a close-up view of the Bachmann brand coupler versus the OVR brand coupler. You can see it's quite a large size difference between the two. So I had a feeling it wouldn't hook up the normal way, and I was right. But if you set the car on, it will work. I know that's not everybody's preference, but again, this is an extreme case. You can see the Bachmann coupler versus the Atlas coupler, and it's the same situation. So take that as you will. Okay, everyone, so with that concludes the coupler modification on the OVR 6000 and 6400 scrap and trash gondolas. Overall, I'd say it's a success with that modification. That seems to have helped a lot. Like any end scale brand, I've personally found that you sometimes have to go in there and kind of shift things about yourself, no matter the brand of coupler being used. My dad is an avid end scaler, and whenever we run trains, I find the same thing with his. He's got a whole variety of brands on his, everything from OVRTRAINS, Rapido, Atlas, you name it. And it's always the same situation. You always have to kind of go in there and give a little hit sometimes just to kind of get things aligned, but that's just kind of the way it goes with end scale. It seems to be a little bit more finicky. But overall, I'd say this is a success. Just be wary when doing this modification that you have all the burrs and everything cleared off the coupler surfaces, because they slide like this against each other. So just make sure that everything is smooth so that you don't have any issues that way. And again, don't over tighten a screw when you put the coupler back on, as you could strip the threads in the plastic, and if it's too tight, the coupler won't move in and out. But with that, this concludes the coupler modification for the OVR scrap and trash gondolas. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will gladly be happy to help you guys along. Again, thank you so much for watching, and happy model railroading, guys. With that, we'll roll out. Talk to you guys later.